بالدورة الأولى للسادة مجموعة الأول فردي. Please welcome the athletes for the first round.
And we are back underway again, this time for the men's first round of the individual kata. Again, 4 groups of 8. Top 4 go through to round 2. Round 2 will be held Sunday morning, men's and women's, and then the medal matches Sunday afternoon. 3 of the top 10 in this first group.
Representing Hungary, Nagy.
Botond Nagy, number 29 in the world, from Hungary.
Representing Colombia, Contreras.
David Contreras, number 43 in the world.
Representing Germany, SMORGUNER.
Ilja SMORGUNER, number 10 in the world, one of the 3 top 10 representatives in this group.
Indonesia, ZARESTA.
Ahmad ZARESTA, it's not far out of the top 10, number 19.
Representing France, DACK.
DACK. He's representing France. He's number 26 in the world, but he's the Oceania champion. And he'll most likely try to compete under the new Caledonia flag to get to the Olympics.
Representing United States of America, Torres.
Abolfazl SHAHRJERDI, number 25 from Iran, and here the Pan-American champion, number 9 in the world, Ariel TORRES.
Turkey, Sofuoglu.
Finally, Ali Sofuoglu, silver in the European Championships, number 3 in the world. So, world number 3, Ali Sofuoglu. Favorite for this group, Ariel TORRES, Pan Am champion. Ilja SMORGUNER, Germany. Oceania champion, DACK. Nothing but quality in this group. It's going to be very tough to get out of it. A fair few fans here braving the hot weather. Qatar beach, the various contestants already working up a sweat. First up is Botond Nagy of Hungary, and he will be performing the paiku. Be a lot of unusual footwork in the paiku, so particularly on the beach that will be difficult to perform. So a gamble already from the Hungarian. Dynamic performance of the paiku. He certainly churned up the sand there. Told you to look out for foot movements. The judges will have been looking out for that. He got a smattering of applause from the crowd, did Botond Nagy. Let's see what the judges give him. It's a strong performance. He's definitely in the running for qualification. This is a tough group, this is 22.68. You wouldn't have thought that that would have been enough to qualify. With 3 top tenors ahead of him. Plus, he's actually 6th in the rankings, 7th in the rankings in this group. 22.68. So that's the marker laid down, 22.68. I'm not saying that above that will qualify, but pretty sure that that won't be enough to get Nagy into the top 4. Now the real outsider of this group is the next one up, Contreras of Colombia. He will be performing the ANOC. Needs a fair bit of work on the 8x8 area of sand there, after it being churned up by the Hungarians' paiku. Contreras, who will be performing the ANOC. Contreras, who finished 3rd in the Paris Open 12 years ago now. 7th there 4 years later, and then 3rd in the Premier League event in Frankfurt. But again, that was a while ago. 2012. So very much the outsider for this group. More applause this time round for David Contreras. A solid performance of the Anan. Could well be enough to squeeze him ahead of, yes it does, ahead of Botond Nagi, 23.6. So these are the markers being laid down for the big guns to come up a little later on in this group.
Total points.
Also the likes of
23.60.
Abolfazl SHAHRJERDI of Iran and DACK of New Caledonia. They're going to have their wits about them. Ahmad ZARESTA as well. He's the real outsider of the group, Contreras. Lowest ranking, number 43. So unless we see a lot of very high scores, could well be in the running to squeeze through. I think it's going to take 24 to get through in this group. It's a very tough one. But that was a solid performance from him. Next up is Ilja SMORGUNER of Germany, born in St. Petersburg 35 years ago, 5-time German champion. And World Championships runner-up. That was 5 years ago, but still, there's quality there in Ilja SMORGUNER. He will be performing the Ohandai.
Ohandai!
Ohandai is most recent kata. It's a combination of different movements that haven't been seen before, or not very much in competition. Unveiled by Ryo Kiyuna of Japan, who took gold in the Premier League event in Paris by performing it. 26.92 points. It's a kata that has been created to a certain extent for next year's Tokyo Olympics. Foot movements, as you can see, and he's dug himself a trench, has Ilja SMORGUNER. Oh, certainly exciting to watch. How the judges react to it will be interesting to see. As I say, it's a brand new kata. 23.6 is currently the lead. SMORGUNER, number 10 in the world. 23.54. It's a gamble that hasn't paid off. He's come out with this new kata, and he's not looking happy, as you can see there. Neither is his coach.
23.54.
That is unlikely to get him through to the next round. It's a tough one. So both SMORGUNER and his coach perhaps ruining the decision to go for the Ohandai. That opens the door as we watch SMORGUNER again. That opens the door for direct competitors like ZARESTA, DACK and SHAHRJERDI, who are the next up, not to mention Ariel TORRES and Ali Sofuoglu. David Contreras, currently the clubhouse leader. He's first with 5 to come. Can't say fairer than that. One of those 5 to come is Ahmad ZARESTA of Indonesia, who will perform the Sansai. Sansai is also a new Olympic kata. New katas have been approved with the sport making it into the Olympics next year. So again, this one will be an interesting one to watch. Ahmad ZARESTA, the Asian Games gold medalist this time last year, or this year, this time plus a couple of months last year, the end of August, the Asian Games on his home soil in Jakarta. His gold medal presented to him by the President, Joko Widodo. How's he going to be in the gold medal running here? 19 in the world, and again, he's come out with one of the new katas that have been approved for the Olympics. Again, it's a gamble, very dynamic, and this is a gamble that's paid off. Didn't pay off for Ilja SMORGUNER, it's paid off for ZARESTA. 24.94. I think we can safely say he's through to the next round.
24.94.
Worked up a sweat and got himself very dirty during that Sansai routine. But it paid off for him. Plenty of repairs being carried out to the 8-metre by 8-metre surface here at Qatar Beach. Make sure everyone has the same smooth sand to perform on. Now with a kururunfa, the hold and strike, we have Vu Minh DACK here competing under the French flag. He's from New Caledonia, and I think that's going to be the way for him to make it through to the Olympics via that particular confederation. Holding and striking suddenly, Kururunfa. He's number 26 in the world, so by no means guaranteed qualification here. He needs a good performance to get into the top 4, particularly after ZARESTA's performance there. There's the kururunfa from the Oceania champion, Vu Minh DACK. Oceania champion under the flag of New Caledonia. That will be the easier way for him to make it through to the Olympics next year, because 10 qualify, and he's only number 26 in the world. But he might make it through for his confederation. 24.26.
Total points.
So I think that spells disaster for Ilja SMORGUNER. He was already struggling to make it anyway, but that puts DACK up into second behind ZARESTA. You would expect Ariel TORRES and Ali Sofuoglu to get into the 24s as well. It all depends on how Abolfazl SHAHRJERDI performs. He's ranked just one place above DACK in the world at number 25. And we're going to see the Papuren from him. SHAHRJERDI. Remember, as the crane. Lots of intricate hand movements. Recently finished 7th in the Asian Senior Championships in Tashkent. Seventh also in the A Series meeting in Salzburg earlier in the year. Big performance came in Dubai, so not too far away. In February last year in Premier League, where he got a 3rd place, got a gold medal, bronze medal. In fact, 2 years in a row in Dubai, bronze medals in 2017 and 2018. So he likes performing in this neck of the woods. Quite long Kata. Beautiful Papuren hand movements. I don't know if his balance was quite there on his feet at certain times. It's very difficult on the sand though. So it has to be taken into account both by the judges and by the competitors. And yes, I think the balance was lacking, 23.48. That puts him in 5th. Doors open for him with the likes of
23.48.
And arguably DACK not really performing to the best of their abilities. Looks like DACK and ZARESTA, well, DACK and ZARESTA are definitely through. They're the top 2 with 2 to play, and you expect they would end up 3rd and 4th behind the next 2 that we're going to see. Be out there at the moment and get the sea breeze. It's hot here, as we can see the competitors really working up a sweat. 35 degrees, feels like 42. It's certainly going to feel like at least 42 for the competitors out there. And here, the beautifully coiffed Ariel TORRES, Pan Am champion, 9th in the world. He'll be performing the Anan. 5'8", born in Cuba. A couple of fifth place finishes since that Pan Am win. Finished 7th recently in Santiago. It's just last month, less than a month ago in fact. Churned up the ground with those foot movements, characteristic of the ANOC. And there we go, 25. So he did the simple things well, and the judges rewarded him for it.
Total points. 25 points.
Best we've seen so far, and a big smile from Ariel Torres Gutierrez. The Cuban turned American, who's given a lot back to American karate, puts on coaching clinics. His father worked 3 jobs when they moved to Florida. Mother is blind in one eye. This is Ariel Torres' way of paying back his family for all of the sacrifices that they've made. And he's doing them proud. Last but not least, Ali Sofuoglu of Turkey, Gojushihodai. Currently 3rd in the rankings. Silver in the European Championships. Preparing the court for him. Had to water it copiously. Flattened it all down, and here he is, Ali Sofuoglu, number 3 in the world. Gojushihodai. Lots of open-handed techniques and attacks to the collarbone. So let's watch his hands. It's a good one to do on the beach. Concentrate on the hand movements. Hey! Immaculate white karate-gi, now drenched in sweat for Ali Sofuoglu. But the effort was worth it. 25.28. He squeezes into first place, as expected of the man ranked
25.28.
number 3 in the world. So the last two were very much the icing on the cake. Sofuoglu 25.28, Ariel TORRES 25. And it means that Ilja ZARESTA and DACK are also through as well. Disappointment for plenty of others though, not least Ilja SMORGUNER. So out come the judges and the 8 competitors.
Pass for the next round. Turkey.
Ali Sofuoglu 25.28 with that Gojushi Hodai.
United States of America.
Ariel Torres Gutierrez 25 on the nose.
Indonesia.
Ilja ZARESTA, gold medalist from the Asian Games last year, 24.94.
France.
And then the new Caledonian Vu Minh DACK 24.26. He's very much a top 3, and then Vu Minh DACK creeping in 4th. Disappointment. I think David Contreras performed above himself, but Ilja SMORGUNER, the bald-headed Russian-born German we're seeing there, he is going to be very disappointed as to how things panned out for him. Chose to go for Ohandai, which has rarely been performed before and never on the beach. And it was a gamble that didn't come off. A new kata for the Olympics next year, the Ohandai. Sansai again a new kata, and that worked out very well for Ilja ZARESTA, and he is through. One down, 3 to go. That was Group A. Highlights from those who made it through, and indeed those who didn't. Now we're seeing Ali